Hey, welcome to Leaders in Logistics. I'm Matthew Rollins, and this is my channel. So today we're going to cover the 5 strategies to reducing shipping stress. As a logistics consultant, I work with a lot of different companies in many different industries, from food and beverage to alcohol to private label to everything, to electronics and drones to medical medicine and beauty products, household goods. So I work with in a lot of different sectors and industries, and these are 5 things that I see directors of transportation and shippers do that reduce their stress. So 1, plan ahead. Sometimes I see shippers make the mistake of their whole business model. Their whole logistics model is like same day rush all the time. So it's like they never know when something's going to come in, and it's like, oh, okay, the load's ready. Can we have a driver come in and pick it up, or it's ready tomorrow? But what that does is that creates you as the shipper. That makes you in a place of strong need. And so when your need is high, then that creates a high demand, and then the carrier or the broker, whoever's arranging your transportation, has to move quickly and has to secure a driver quickly. And if capacity is tight in your city, they've got to pay top dollar to a driver, or the carrier has to move around their drivers and rearrange everything last minute, and that costs. So my biggest piece of advice is plan ahead, weeks ahead, a month ahead, but as much as you can, give your carriers and brokers advance notice. Say, hey, 2 weeks from now, because what that does is that gives them a chance. It gives carriers a chance to schedule their drivers and know their times of rest and being at home and then on the road. It gives brokers a chance to negotiate the lowest price they can and talk to a lot more carriers in the network. And it's just always going to be more cost effective. So first thing, plan ahead. Second thing to reduce stress is to provide your carriers, and this is going to save you time as well. Provide your carriers and brokers that you partner with, provide them with a single document, a bill of lading, and have on it there everything you need: weight, commodity, PO numbers, receiving numbers, pickup and delivery addresses and appointments. When you do that, when I have shipping teams that are really organized and they do that, it's so simple. We don't have to have any more communication. It's all there. I print it out and we're good to go. I don't have to go back and forth. What I see shippers do as a mistake is sometimes it's like I will have to slowly pull out the information. What's the pickup address? What's the delivery address? What's the pickup time? What's the delivery time? What's the weight? What's the commodity? What, blah, 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 da, 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 and we go back and forth all day or for 30, 40 minutes, and it wastes their time and my time. And so you want to be less stressed, be more organized, and be more cost effective, create a single document and give that to them and have it standardized. Thirdly, so this is for shippers that are looking to reduce stress, reduce cost, reduce overwhelm, and streamline everything with your carriers and brokers that you're partnering with to ship your refrigerated stuff, your LTL, your FTL, your intermodal, whatever it is. Find carriers and brokers that emphasize service. Okay, it's going to cost a bit more, but trust me, it's worth it. So, and when I say service, I mean the carriers and brokers that are willing to go the extra mile, that are willing to over communicate, that are willing to actually take on responsibility. So some of the things that brokers can do and carriers that you might not know is freight brokers can do simple things like schedule pickup and delivery. And I know this sounds like trivial, but honestly, sometimes that can take so much time. It can take so many back and forths, and sometimes sometimes it's really straightforward. Other times it's really finicky or delicate or nuanced of the shipping and receiving hours that they allow, the appointment schedule, the mileage. So if it's 1,500 miles, how many days is that going to take? What are the driver's rest periods and drive periods? And then if you can get that timed up with the way that a driver wants to run that lane, then you can way often get more drivers interested in in it and get a much better rate because drivers want your lanes instead of you having to pay them above market price. So find carriers that will handle scheduling pickup appointments, scheduling delivery appointments, talking to the warehouses, talking to the distribution centers. Also, carriers and brokers can create the bill of lading. So that's something that can make your life easier too. Instead of you having to put all the information in a document, you can just email them the information and then they can just arrange that, make this really professional looking bill of lading, and honestly experiment. Ask if you're trying to delegate things, just ask carriers and brokers like, hey, will you do this? Can you do this? Can you arrange this? Because I know in our business as logistics consultants, there's so much that we can do for our clients to make their lives so easy, and most clients don't utilize the full services that we can offer. So that's important. Number 4, create loyalty with brokers and carriers. Something, if you're a shipper, if you're an executive or a director of transportation, this industry is stressful. It's really time sensitive. So oftentimes things have to happen quickly. Mistakes are made all the time. Accidents happen, shippers make mistakes, receivers make mistakes, drivers, carriers. There's just a lot of moving parts, details get dropped. And so sometimes what I see shippers doing, and I think this is a mistake, is they have a dozen carriers, a dozen brokers, and they just are always fighting for the cheapest rate. But what this can do is oftentimes you get what you pay for. And I've experienced this with working with tax consultants and car mechanics and everything, right? So what I see is sometimes you need help after hours. So as a shipper, you need someone that's willing to text you or take a text. You need someone that's sometimes willing to help you when there's an accident or a claim on a Saturday or after hours. So these things that if you don't have loyal relationships with a few brokers and a few carriers that will go way above and beyond the call of duty to serve you, then you're going to have times where you're in your busy season, right? Like we're about to hit busy season for produce and vegetables and fruit and food, especially here in California. So if you don't have loyalty and you're just always price shopping the cheapest one, what I see happen is when you're in a dire need, when you really need someone to go above and beyond, no one's willing to. Sorry, I was eating popcorn. Maybe TMI, but I was like, man, I got a little popcorn kernel. Real talk. So that's the other thing is build relationships with your carriers and brokers, and they will go above and beyond the call of duty. They will go all in for you, and you will be blown away when you are going through hell and you're like, there's no way someone would do this. They'll step up. 5th, and lastly, know when to shut it down. If you are looking, these are again the 5 strategies to reducing shipping stress, and that means stress in your life, reducing cost, and overwhelm. So know when to shut it down. Have your work hours. Yes, there's emergencies. Yes, there's times where you have to work a weekend or an evening, but make time. Like if it's 5 o'clock, if it's 3 o'clock, make time. You just shut it down. You go home with your family. You kick back, you relax, you recharge, because otherwise you are going to burn out. You are going to have health problems and relationship problems, and your personal life is going to be a disaster. Maybe it seems funny me talking about this, but right, we work because we have to sometimes, right? But we ideally want to create a beautiful, magnificent life for ourselves. And so again, these are the 5 strategies. 1, plan ahead. 2, provide your brokers and carriers with one document that has all the information. 3, find carriers and brokers that you can that emphasize service and ask them to do extra things for you. 4, create loyalty, build an actual relationship with a few carriers and brokers. 5, shut it down, rest, recharge, rejuvenate. All right, I hope that helps. If this helped, please like, subscribe, leave a comment. Let me know what are the strategies, tactics, and tools that you're using to reduce stress, reduce costs, make your shipping process better. This is as much a research engine here as it is anything else. I love the comments and feedback I get from executives and directors and coordinators in logistics and transportation, because it enables me to offer that back to you as the audience. So look forward to hearing from y'all. We'll talk soon.